Ever thought of pirates as burly, bearded men with eye patches? Well, the world's most successful pirate was actually a woman. Let's set sail on a journey to the early 19th century China, where we meet a woman named Ching Shih. Ching Shih didn't start her life on the high seas though. Instead, she found herself living as a prostitute. But as fate would have it, her life took an unexpected turn when she caught the eye of the commander of the Red Flag Fleet. He didn't just purchase her freedom and marry her, he saw her as his equal and invited her to join him in his piracy exploits. As a pirate commander, Ching Shih proved herself to be far more than just a pretty face. She was a strategic genius, a fearless leader, and she earned the respect of her crew. She wasn't just playing dress-up in a man's world, she was reshaping the world to fit her. When her husband died, one might think that was the end of her pirating days. But the story of Ching Shih was only just beginning. In a move that was unheard of in those times, Ching Shih took over the reins of the Red Flag Fleet. She became the captain, the leader, the queen of her fleet. And she wasn't a figurehead, she commanded her fleet with a deft hand and a sharp mind. Under her rule, the Red Flag Fleet flourished. She was so successful in fact that the Qing dynasty, the Portuguese Navy, and the British Empire all tried, and failed, to stop her. She outsmarted, outmaneuvered, and outlasted them all, maintaining control of her fleet until she chose to retire. So, next time you think of pirates, remember to picture a fierce woman at the helm outsmarting everyone on the high seas. If you think modern Olympic uniforms are skimpy, be grateful you weren't a competitor in the ancient Olympics. Now, let's take you back in time, when the Olympic competitors didn't worry about the latest sportswear technology or aerodynamics. In fact, they didn't worry about clothing at all. Yes, you heard it right. The athletes in the ancient Olympics competed in the buff. This au naturel tradition was not just a whimsical choice. The athletes performed naked to imitate the gods, who were often depicted in the nude in Greek art. This was a way to honor the divine and compete in their image. But it wasn't just a spiritual thing. Going sans clothing also had a practical purpose. It helped the athletes to easily clear toxins from their skin through sweating after each attempt at a sport. Now let's talk about the word gymnastics. It comes from the ancient Greek words gymnasia, which means athletic training, exercise, and gymnos, which translates to naked. Put them together and you get to train naked. So the original gymnasts were not just doing flips and splits, they were doing them without any clothes on. This tradition might seem strange or even shocking to us now, but for the ancient Greeks, it was a normal part of their athletic culture. It was about more than just sports. It was about honoring the gods, celebrating the human body, and pushing their physical limits. The ancient Olympics was a unique blend of sport, religion, and art. The athletes were not just competitors, they were performers, and their bodies were part of the show. So the next time you're at the gym, remember the ancient Greeks and be thankful for the invention of workout clothes. Julius Caesar, a name synonymous with power, betrayal, and acupuncture. Now, before you start looking up ancient Roman acupuncture techniques, let me clarify. Julius Caesar, the famous Roman general, statesman, and historian, had a rather infamous encounter with pointy objects. The story goes that on the 15th of March 44 BC, Caesar was stabbed not once, not twice, but a staggering 23 times by his so-called friends. Can you imagine 23 times? I mean, talk about overkill. Once or twice should have done the job, but no, these guys were thorough. It's like they were trying to set a new Roman record for most stabs at a dinner party. And the irony of it all? Caesar's best friend Brutus was in on the whole thing. You know Brutus, the guy Caesar would have trusted with his life. Well, he did, and look how that turned out. Caesar must have been so disappointed. I mean, getting stabbed is one thing, but getting stabbed by your best friend, that's just adding insult to injury. Now I know what you're thinking. Oh, poor Caesar, betrayed by his friend, stabbed 23 times. But let's not forget that Caesar himself wasn't exactly a saint. He had proclaimed himself dictator for life of the Roman Republic, which is a pretty bold move, not to mention his radical political ideas. So, while it's a bit extreme, you can kind of see where his fellow senators were coming from. Just imagine the scene. Caesar walking in expecting a normal day of dictatorial duties only to be greeted by a mob of his colleagues, all armed with knives. It's like the world's worst surprise party. Now, I'm not endorsing backstabbing, literal or otherwise, but if there's a lesson to be learned from Caesar's unfortunate demise, it's this. If you're going to make yourself dictator for life, maybe don't upset the people who have access to sharp objects. And you thought your friends were backstabbers? The Colosseum, a grand testament to Roman architecture, or a massive marble thief's paradise? A monument that has stood the test of time, the Colosseum is a marvel to behold. But did you know that this iconic structure used to be a vision in marble? Yes, you heard it right. The Colosseum was originally clad almost entirely in marble. Imagine the sight, a massive, gleaming marble structure standing proudly in the heart of ancient Rome, a fitting symbol of the grandeur and might of the Roman Empire, don't you think? But if you've seen the Colosseum today, you might have noticed that it looks a tad different. The stone exterior appears to be covered in pockmarks all across its surface. Now you might be thinking, the ravages of time, right? But hold on to your togas, because there's more to this story. The truth is, these pockmarks are not just signs of age or weathering. They are actually the result of the Colosseum being stripped of its marble cladding. Shocking, isn't it? This grand structure, which once shimmered in the Italian sun, was systematically looted for its marble. And why was this precious marble taken, you ask? Well, let's just say that marble was quite the hot commodity in Rome. It was used for everything from building other structures to creating stunning pieces of art. Over the centuries, this marble loot was repurposed, reused, and recycled. The Colosseum, once a marble marvel, was left with a pockmarked exterior that tells a tale of theft and transformation. So the next time you look at the Colosseum, remember its marble past. And the next time you admire a piece of Roman marble art, remember where it might have come from. And there you have it, the Colosseum, a grand testament to Roman architecture, a symbol of the Roman Empire's might, and yes, a massive marble thief's paradise. So if you're missing some marble from your kitchen countertop, you know where to look. Gladiators, fierce, muscular, and female. That's right, folks, we're diving into the world of Gladiatrices, the oft-forgotten heroines of the arena. Now you may be picturing a gladiator as a burly, battle-hardened man, but history tells us a different tale. In the heart of Rome, not all gladiators were men. There were women too who stepped into the fighting pits, ready to face the same deadly challenges. These female gladiators were known as Gladiatrices, the feminine form of gladiator. They were rare, but they were present, and they were every bit as formidable as their male counterparts. Just like the men, gladiatrices played a variety of roles in Roman society. They executed criminals, fought against each other, and even battled against wild animals. Their purpose was the same as the men: to entertain the masses, to demonstrate Roman military skill, and to embody the glory and brutality of the Roman Empire. The gladiatrices were not just fighters, they were symbols of strength, of courage, and of defiance. They challenged the traditional gender roles of their time, proving that women could be just as fierce and fearless as men. So ladies, next time someone says you fight like a girl, take it as a compliment. After all, the gladiatrices of ancient Rome were no pushovers. They were warriors, they were survivors, and they left an indelible mark on history. Well, that's all, folks. Hope you had a good laugh and learned something new. Bet you didn't see that coming about Ching Shih, the Pirate Queen, or the Naked Olympics. And who knew Caesar's last day would be so punctuated? Let's not forget the Colosseum's marble glow-up and the fierce female gladiators. History's riddled with fun surprises, isn't it? Tune in next time when we uncover the mystery behind the world's most infamous art heist. Trust us, it's a story that will steal your breath away.